Hey guys, and welcome back to another How to Crucible. We're talking today about 7.6.5. Alright, this is a scout rifle. Doesn't quite look like it really. It looks a little bit more like an auto rifle, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But it is a scout rifle made by the Omalon, however you pronounce the letters. It is made by that foundry. They have created this beast. So looking at it, just to look at it, it does, again, look kind of like an auto rifle, and kind of the weapon perks kind of relay that just a little bit, but not enough. So let's go down and check out the... Oh, I did get this from the gunsmith, as a lot of the guns I do get from the gunsmith, just because they're kind of weird, different guns. I think I've gotten 7.6.5 from a lot of different locations early on, but I don't think I've seen it in a while. So there's your tip. Haven't seen it in a while. So we're looking at our stats here down in the bottom right-hand corner that you would have saw in the very beginning. So if you saw them, if you even looked at them as I was going over them, they're pretty stacked, really, honestly. Like, they look good. Like, most of the bars are almost halfway, over halfway. So you would think maybe this gun's got some potential. Maybe this gun's got some power. Maybe this gun has got some steam that it can throw out. But you would be a tad wrong. So we're going to look at impact. First, impact, okay, so impact is 29 per body shot. It's 29 per body shot, which is quite low for a scout rifle of the sense. And then also, a headshot was only 44. So if you kind of take that into consideration of how much health a Guardian actually has, which is around 190 to 210, you're probably looking at maybe like a 4 headshot kill, maybe, because it's only, what, 40 times 4, which is like 180, 160, right? So maybe you're not even hitting them, you're not even doing that, so then maybe it's like a 5-shot headshot. And then also with the body shots, it's like 6, 7, 8, you know, it doesn't seem like that actually in game. It actually kind of goes quickly. But when you're actually thinking about the numbers and the statistics, if you're only fighting this guy by yourself, you are kind of looking at a very poor execution from the impact standpoint. So impact is kind of low, I would say, for this type. I think it's just a tad low. Maybe like 2 or 3 more would have actually given this gun a little bit more recognition with me, but otherwise it's kind of bland, really. I mean, the bar is way over half. I mean, it's about, 3/5 of the way there, so I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter. Moving on to range, so let's talk about both of our range classifications. So let's talk about long range first. Long range was alright. This gun is pretty accurate whenever you're shooting it, kind of. I mean, it's accurate. It's not like it's absolutely buns, but, it can hit shots. So hitting those shots from long range was actually kind of easy, I would say. It was basically, it felt average, really. It just felt like I was able to hit them whenever I just wanted to hit them. It really didn't matter of the stance of where I was, really. So talking about long range, I do believe that this gun had the potential to drop some people, but scout rifles, other scout rifles, and pulse rifles were absolutely waylaying me. I really had a tough time against a lot of the better weapons from those long-range distance fights. It just doesn't put out enough power fast enough, really. It doesn't do enough damage fast enough to fight off against those way better weapons. So we're talking like Vigilance Wing, we're talking just other scout rifles and pulse rifles. I don't really have names in my head. If I had names in my head, that'd be impressive. Just talk about a whole bunch of other different guns, but I really don't. So let's move on to short range now. Short range was not fun. It wasn't fun to fight. It did damage. It was not fun. This gun doesn't shoot fast enough. It does not shoot it's bad. It's bad that it does not shoot as fast as it needs to up close. We're talking it's the rounds per minute's 200. Granted, right? You only have 16 bullets. So you kind of think about it that way. It's going to take about 4 to 7 shots to kill the person. So you're talking about maybe having about 9-ish bullets left in your magazine, 8, and considering you may miss a few shots in there. Now you're looking at trying to reload the weapon or try to get away if you're in a tight situation, it just does not work. I had a very difficult time using this weapon up close, but it did do damage up close. I did get kills up close. It's not like I had absolutely horrible time, like I never got kills up close. It was always long range. That didn't happen. I got short range, I got long range, you know. It was a little mix, it was a little balance, so it was good, it was bad. It was good and bad. Good and bad. Bad because it doesn't shoot fast enough, good because it does do enough. I'm talking enough. I'm saying the bare minimum here. It's doing enough to actually kill people. So just think about it that way. So moving on to stability and handling. Stability and handling was alright. It wasn't like the gun did crazy giant bounces when it shot every time, or that it was difficult, or it felt like I was throwing around an oar around the map, or a giant fan, like a giant face fan, just trying to move that thing across the screen. It didn't feel like that. It felt kind of versatile, really. It didn't really feel that bad. I think one of the perks is lightweight, so it actually gave me a little bit more movement speed, so that was, the kicker. Yeah, I just moved it over to see about the lightweight frame. It is lightweight frame, so it's superb handling. Move faster with this weapon equipped. So it didn't really feel bad. The handling is almost all the way up. It's the highest bar there, and it proves it. It was fun to run around with the gun. It didn't really bring me down to any horrible standards that I had to deal with. Stability, it shot basically where I wanted it to go. Sometimes my aim was a little off, but that's just because my aim is a little off and I'm kind of, I suck sometimes. But it's okay. It was pretty good. Stability and handling really wasn't bad. Reload speed, it's pretty fast. It's not crazy fast, but it's pretty fast. It's not anything to look at and say, wow, this gun reloads really slow. I can't use this weapon. Can't use this weapon at all. No, it does reload pretty fast, so you don't really have to worry about reload speed. It's not really a horrible detriment to the weapon at all. So, okay, let's move on to the perks and talk about those real quick. So, for what we had, like I said, the intrinsic perk, we had the lightweight frame, so you move pretty fast with it. It had 2 sights on it. It had basically just red dot sights with it. The Omolon features that you usually get with Omolon weapons, they weren't really anything interesting or spectacular, I could say. It had accurized rounds, and it had, let me look, armor-piercing rounds, so it caused extra damage to combatants. I used the armor-piercing rounds just because it slightly increased my range. I think accurized rounds gave me a little bit more range, but I just kind of wanted the over-penetration of the target shields, because maybe that does a little bit more damage. I don't know. I'm not a perk expert. I just kind of use the weapons and hope that it works, so that's what I use. And then it's got its last feature, which is the full auto feature. And the full auto feature is kind of, it's not fast enough. Like I said before, it doesn't give the gun enough speed to where I need to use it at. So we're talking like the Mida does absolutely the same amount of damage that this weapon does, really. It does basically the same amount of damage, but it's also shooting 10 times faster. It's shooting way faster than this weapon. And, if the gun allowed me to use the weapon at if it allowed me to trigger tap it and override that feature and actually shoot faster, then maybe we would have a better gun, but it doesn't. I tried tapping, I tried just holding. It's the same speed that you shoot the gun every single time, so it doesn't matter. You can't get it faster. It's just, the perks are okay. They're just, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a 6.5 because the full auto feature is a little, unique. You don't really see a whole lot in all the other guns. It's kind of a unique kind of perk out there, so that's what you get to worry about. But let's move on to long range. Long range, like I said, it was good, but it wasn't by all means the best. So we're giving it a 7.5 in that rating system. So now we're moving on to short range. Like I said, it wasn't really fun, but it was doable. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6 in short range. Effectiveness is where we do our little bit of a calculation. So we're going to take our kills that I got, kills and assists, 237, and then we're going to take our deaths, 131, and we're going to add those up. We're going to get 368 total gunfights. Then we're going to put up our equation, and we're going to put 237 in for K, and then we're going to put 368 in for T. We're going to multiply, or we're going to divide those, and then we're going to multiply by 100, and then we're going to get a number of 6.4. 6.4. At least it's in the 6s. I didn't think it was going to be in the 6s. I ended up with a game with a 1.81 KD, so it was good. I thought maybe I would have had a little bit less KD because some of the games I was getting bodied, you know. Some of the games I was not doing well and I was kind of getting frustrated. So now let's move on to overall rating. We're going to add up all these numbers and we're going to divide by 4, and that is going to be a 6.6 for our weapon. So now the total for this weapon is a 33. So it's made it into the 30s, which is good. That means it is somewhat usable within the Crucible. So let's go on to the ranking system. Now, if you don't know about the ranking system, I rank all the weapons by their final number. So this, in this case, the 33. I rank them in their respective groups, so the scout rifles in this case, and then I rank them among all the weapons in Destiny 2. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the scout rifles. So in the scout rifles, it does perform quite low. It's going to be out of the top 5, and it's going to be in the 7th position. It has a lot of tough competitors, and we're talking about the Mida tool, and we're talking about, you know, other weapons, you know, Tome Patrol, Frontier Justice, you know, we're talking about the good ones out there. The ones that are doing a lot of damage with good perks. So it's obviously going to be a little down there. But then we're going to move on to the total score for everything, and it's going to end up in the 24th spot on the entire list. So it's basically the halfway mark right now. We have 49 weapons in there, and it's basically at the halfway point, so it's doing alright. At least, like I said, it's in the 30s, so that means it is a usable weapon. If it's anywhere below the 30s, it's starting to get into the point where it's just not what you need to use. So that's basically what I'm saying here. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on the video, and I'll see you later.